Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of News Tonight live on GHOne TV. We're bringing you this bulletin from our studios at the Platinum Place here in Accra. I am Nadima, Umar, Uthman. Coming up tonight, Member of Parliament for Efidiase Asokore, Dr. Uefriye, accuses opposition NDC of sponsoring foreigners to pollute water bodies in Ghana.
And I'm confused. Obia, oh yeah, galamsey. I will sue to galamsey. Togo phone Burkina before na last month. NDC for Akofa Omodiabegu Ofin Oda Bra. But we are going after them.
But the question remains: have we lost control of the fight against illegal mining? And what are the plans of political parties to deal with the menace as we approach the elections? We shall find out tonight. Also on your election hub tonight, NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama takes on Sanitation Ministry over alleged misappropriation of some $150 million as his rival Dr. Mahmoud Baumia urges voters in the Western region to vote for him. Also in the bulletin, leaders at the United Nations General Assembly race around the clock fighting to prevent common infections from becoming untreatable. We cross over to the UN General Assembly to keep you updated. And in business, Public Utilities Regulatory Commission announces a 3.0% and 1.86% tariff adjustment for electricity and water, respectively. Many thanks for tuning in once again. Remember, you can watch this bulletin across the world on our social media platforms at GHOne TV. Now, imagine a world where common infections become untreatable and life-saving medicines no longer work. That is the reality leaders at the United Nations General Assembly are fighting to prevent. With millions of lives lost each year due to drug-resistant infections, countries are now pledging bold steps to turn the tide and save millions more by 2030. My colleague Ridwan Karim-Dini Osman has this report from New York.
Antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, occurs when pathogens like bacteria and fungi develop the ability to resist the medicines meant to eliminate them. The World Health Organization has identified AMR as one of the top global public health threats, largely driven by the overuse and misuse of antimicrobials in humans, animals, and plants, creating resistant strains of dangerous pathogens. For Gabriela Balasa, who has lived with cystic fibrosis her entire life, antibiotics are more than just medicine. They are a lifeline. However, addressing the 79th United Nations General Assembly, she shares a terrifying moment when the antibiotics stopped working, leaving her vulnerable to dangerous infections.
In 2019, I faced the most severe drug-resistant infection that I've had. My doctors had prescribed me the strongest antibiotics that we have available to us today, colistin. But after weeks of treatment, I was not having any relief in my symptoms or improvement. I was unable to breathe, walking just a few feet, and my lung function was 18%. I was a shell of an existence. The bacteria were stronger than the strongest antibiotics that we have. I felt helpless, defeated, and I didn't know if I was going to survive.
She was lucky, but for millions of others, there is no second chance. In 2019 alone, antimicrobial resistance directly caused 1.27 million deaths and contributed to nearly 5 million more. A recent study in The Lancet projects that from 2025 to 2050, over 39 million people could die from infections caused by resistant bacteria. The World Bank warns that AMR could add up to $1 trillion in healthcare costs by 2050. Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, warns of severe consequences if the world fails to act quickly.
We are facing an alarmingly dry pipeline for new antibiotics. The irony of AMR is that it's fueled by the overuse of antibiotics, and yet more people die from lack of access to antibiotics.
Executive Director of the UN Environment Programme, Inge Anderson, says there is an urgent need to tackle antimicrobial pollution and the environmental factors that contribute to the spread of resistance.
Prevention is key to stop antimicrobials, and AMR is leaking into our environment from municipal wastewater, from municipal waste, as well as wastewater, from pharmaceutical production, from hospitals, from farms that overuse and intensify crop production sprayed with antimicrobials. Around 56% of wastewater released into the environment has little or no treatment, and it is crucial to integrate water management, water sanitation and hygiene.
In response, global leaders at the 79th UN General Assembly have approved a political declaration to reduce deaths from bacterial AMR by 10% by 2030. The plan also includes sustainable national financing and a $100 million fund to help at least 60% of countries implement AMR action plans by 2030.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, alongside the WHO, the UN Environment Programme, and the World Organization for Animal Health, supports this declaration, emphasizing a One Health approach which connects human, animal, and environmental health. But the real challenge now is action. The world will be watching to see if leaders will follow through on these critical targets to protect future generations. From the UN headquarters in New York, I am Ridwan Karim Dini Osman, reporting for GHOne News.
Now, back in Accra, residents of Adjegano Mano Valley within the Adentan Municipal Assembly of the Greater Accra region are left frustrated as a parcel of road said to be on a waterway has been encroached upon and currently being developed. Now, though the Municipal Assembly had initially taken steps to stop the developer, construction has resumed with contractors on site day and night, a development the residents fear could spell doom when it rains. Now, the Motorway Residents Association are appealing to the municipal chief executive and the police to intervene. Let's stay a while on this development, as I've been joined in studio by Anissa Osman and Professor Roger Adamu Canton. Many thanks for joining us. They are both representatives of the Motorway Residents Association, the Adjegano Mano Valley. Many thanks for joining us once again. Let me start with you, Anissa. How long has the situation persisted?
Thank you very much for inviting us. This situation has persisted since 2019, and during this period between 2019 and 2021, we have written individually and then as an association to the Adenta Municipal Assembly. And after a while, we've been assisted by the former MCE who helped us to unblock 2 of those roads. Currently, one of the roads is more trouble, but this one under contention has been re-encroached again by a different person. The first time that we had the road unblocked, there were walls on it, and eventually the MCE got his group of people to come and arrest the culprits. So at the end of the day, the contractor who was working on the roads eventually had access to the road and started developing it to construct drainage. Right. Unfortunately, he was unable to continue because he had no funds.
Right, Prof, I'll come to you shortly, but on our screen, a video is rolling on our screen currently. Is that the portion of the road, Anissa?
Yes.
Where the development is currently ongoing? I mean, for somebody who does not know the area, paint for us just how the situation is, because from where I sit, I mean, I don't know that area, and so I cannot even tell that that is a portion of the road. Anissa?
Yes, that is the road.
Okay, yeah, I confirm that is the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, but if you can paint a vivid picture for us, what exactly is going on for somebody who does not know that area?
Okay, thank you very much. Currently, what is happening on the road is that the developer has come to excavate his trenches, has poured in concrete with his iron rods in place, and they are doing bricklaying in order for them to be able to pour in their laterite and then continue the building.
But Prof, let me come to you now. I mean, if you're seeing the video on our screen, you can't immediately tell that there's a road next to it.
It said there's a road.
Right.
That is in front of my house.
Okay.
It's just because you haven't seen the stretch. Yes, if we send you pictures of it, you'll see it. It's that's my wall. You have seen with the marking that it's a road.
Okay.
Stop work on the 12th of February. I mean September. Yet they were so defiant. And on the 13th of September, the chief executive of Adenta, Honorable Ebenezer Doku, sent his team, the municipal works engineer and his assistant, and almost 40 of their task force to demolish the work that was the foundation, the profile that had been dug. But while they were doing that, some land guards rushed on them because there was no police protection, so they had to stop and then go away.
They rushed on the task force.
Exactly.
But
so
do we know who the developer is?
Well, I don't know the developer. We are only told the developer is a business person in Nigerian Ghana.
But I mean, aside the task force that you said that came by earlier to stop the ongoing construction, what other steps have you taken? I mean, why are authorities finding it so difficult to deal with the situation?
Yeah, we've also tried to seek support from the national security to ward them off. In fact, they came in even much earlier when they had blocked the road with zinc to protect those who will be working inside, in that you wouldn't see them. So the national security came and destroyed it. So anytime they come, then the national security is coming, they get intelligence and then they run away. So that has been the issue that we have had. And we are just hoping that if the municipal chief executive, if they can come with the real police striking force, like they did earlier, and Honorable Daniel Alexander Nino Aduma, the immediate past Metropolitan Municipal Chief Executive of Adenta.
But in your engagement, I'm guessing you've had several engagements with the MCE, right?
Yes.
What is preventing them from dealing with the situation?
Well, we even invited the MCE. I went to his office personally twice, but we couldn't meet him. And we invited him. He said he will send his fiscal planning officers to come and assess the situation. They haven't come. And he himself said the last time we spoke, I think that was on Thursday or Friday, he promised that he will do his level best and come. But up to now, he hasn't come. So that is why we are using this medium to reach out to those, the duty bearers, who can attend to this situation so that things don't go out of hand.
Do motorists ply that route often?
No, because it's not a major road.
Oh, okay.
It's an access road that allows us to go to each other. And when it rains, the water will be drained off. So if you put a structure there, the whole of the place will be flooded. No one can go to anybody's house. My house will be inundated. So it is a serious issue, and we want an urgent action.
Right. Hopefully the authorities are watching and listening, and eventually a solution is found to this. But Anissa, I mean, Prof mentioned that there's been a lot of interactions with the MC moving forward. I mean, aside from using this medium, I mean, I'm sure our reporters will come to the ground to ascertain just how serious the situation is. But finally, what would you like to tell the appropriate authorities?
Thank you very much. What I would like to add to the voice of Professor Canton is that we are appealing to the municipal chief executive again to support us just like his predecessor did for us in 2021. So now that he is the person in the office, We are appealing to him to use the authority and the power vested in him as the first gentleman of ADMA to support us to stop or nip this situation in the bud, because it's getting out of hands. As we talk right now, we have land guards all over the place, and the residents find it difficult coming out because we fear for our lives. We don't even know what they are going to do to us. So apart from the municipal chief executive that we are appealing to, we are also appealing to the regional minister. We are appealing to the roads and highways minister, as well as all the powers that be that can help us to unblock this particular road. And the reason for which that road remained in that state is just that the contractor ran out of funds. And then work that was going on in that suburb just came to a halt. So we are looking forward to when government will release funding to the contractor to continue. So I don't know how a road that was supposed to have been constructed in 2020-2021, because of lack of funds, it had to halt, and somebody just comes somewhere 2 or 3 weeks ago to start construction and claim the place is his plot and that it had been rezoned. That is what we find very distasteful, because if somebody had worked earlier, if there's a new person in the office, the person can only support and continue from where his predecessor left off.
Right, but Prof, I don't know if you'd like to also
add. I would like to add to that. Actually, the assembly did exactly that. In fact, if you saw on the wall, they wrote on the 12th of September that stop work. This is a road.
But unfortunately, in Ghana, that doesn't desist people from working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they brought their task force, and just like my sister said, we need more action. I would also like to add to, as you have said, to appeal also to the East Legon Police Command. I'm told the commander is a very proactive lady who has been able to handle similar situations. So we are appealing to her to come to our aid. After all, we are under her jurisdiction.
Right.
And I would like to appeal to everybody, including you people, for what you are championing. And as Adesha said, if we are giving them up to by middle of this week, if not, we will consider a press conference and also to pick it at the Adenta Municipal Assembly. We will be there day and night till they address our situation.
Right,
Thank you.
There is Professor Roger Adamu Canton and Anissa Osman, who are both representatives of the Motorway Residents Association, the Adregano, specifically the Adregano Mano Valley, raising concerns about construction or development that is going on in that area that has actually blocked the pathway, the waterway, which is obviously affecting residents. But we'll keep an eye on this development. Many thanks for joining us. Now, away from that, the concerned youth of Old Yakase in the Awen municipality of the Western North region, I beg your pardon, are ready to take drastic action against illegal mining. They say the activity is destroying the environment as local police have ignored their pleas for help. Despite repeated appeals to authorities, their only river, essential for daily life and farming, continues to be polluted. Concerned youth of Old Yakase in the Owing municipality is ready to take drastic action against illegal mining, otherwise called galamsey, that is devastating their local environment. They have repeatedly appealed to the authorities for help in stopping the pollution of their only river, vital for both domestic and farming purposes, but their efforts have been ignored by local police. They also suspect that some local chiefs are involved in illegal mining operations, prioritizing personal gain over the well-being of the community. Now, the youth are prepared to enforce the law themselves. The youth had hoped for peaceful resolutions, but the lack of response has pushed them to the brink.
We don't want to take the law into our own hands. That is why always we pass the right channel. But if persuasion fails, force must be our pride. The community as a whole, now we have decided that when we hear that there is irregular manners in our water bodies or any of our catchment area, we take the law into our own hand and fight with them because we are tired. We are tired.
Secretary to the concerned group, Paul Pierre, described how attempts to engage the illegal miners had failed.
We need to drink potable water. We need not to take in any water that will cause disease for us. We need to live. We need to stay healthy. And source of water is the only thing that people of Odiakasa will drink and live well. And we need not to allow anybody to come and destroy the water for us. They are not from the vicinity here, but they have come to destroy the water. And when they leave, we are going to face the consequences. And we don't want that to happen.
Assemblywoman Hagar Akwa reinforced the community's determination, adding that both the Chinese and Ghanaians responsible for the illegal mining activities must not be allowed to destroy their only river source.
And it is very, very bad for us, people at Odiakese. We have only one river, which is River Duswe. We use it to bath, we drink, we use it to cook, everything. Through this work here, it is going to destroy our water bodies. So he don't need them here. They should pack and leave. We will never allow this illegal mining in our area.
They called on higher authorities to intervene before the situation escalates further. Let's now do some election-related stories on your Election Hub. It's been a week of controversy as protesters against illegal mining come face to face with law enforcement agencies, leading to the arrest of over 50 of the activists. Now, the arrested persons and their lawyers, as well as some environmental groups, have been demanding their release. But the court insists that they remain in custody until later dates. Now, the question tonight is, will the fight against galamsey ever end, especially with the political interest being espoused by various groups? For instance, the Member of Parliament for Ifidiasia Sokori believes the opposition NDC has sponsored some foreigners to pollute Ghana's water bodies. Let's take a listen to him.
Yankopan was also Eddie Yako to him for number one. Because he wants us to what? Win. The voice of people is the what? The voice of what? God. Okasa Efayemu. And the research that was done as of last week shows that Yetu Abba, we are gaining 18 seats. The national TVs that are here, I am telling you, say Yetu Abba, at the end of August, the MPP was winning 80 more seats. And the NDC paying for our parliament. We are talking all the time. They are well. And until now, so I won't cry. Nobody confusion. Bana man for yen trouble. Oh, yeah, Omar said that in crying. And I'm confused. Obia, oh yeah, galamsey, I will sue to galamsey. Small scale mining, community mining, I find galamsey, no. And you're different for Togo for the Burkina before na last month, and this if we are for Modiabegu or Fin or Da. Bra. But we are going after them. Me say, the operation operation we have started this week in the middle belt. Because the Ensaka no say Obeboya Mayanya Omoncrofo no. And no the Enfano Mabonte. Yekasa onte. Kwabrani who say we are winning the seats in the mining areas. So they decided to go and import foreigners. No one know buy and no man can chop say munko in real no na munko to go do or say munko so no na munko to. Na mo refi mo hwana the whole year. Inso aye problem da. Enya one man here na started. Eye obi na opese anka omo ye na anka ye di speed. Nanka ya caught, nanka ya stop it, I'm safe for, nanka ya lose your seat. Yes, stop you, I'm na. Yes, stop you, I'm china. Because there's a difference between.
Well, that there is Dr. Ayuefi, MP for Ifidiasia Sokori. But now various political flag bearers have shared with the public what their plans are in terms of dealing with the illegal mining menace. But what will the Liberal Party of Ghana do if given the mandate to rule in the December polls? Joining me in studio for a conversation on this is Kofi Akpalu. Many thanks for joining us this evening.
It's a pleasure being here.
Right, let's go straight into the issues. We're discussing galamsey. Your initial thoughts on the comments made by Dr. Ayuefi. He says they're not going to stop the illegal miners now or tomorrow, literally, because the NDC, according to them, NDC is the one, spearheading this.
Yeah, you see, I would have condemned him. I would have condemned him for his utterances. But listening to the running mate of the NDC, Dr. Is it Professor?
No, Professor.
Listening to her at Memphis Central 2 days ago.
Right.
And she was encouraging them that they should continue with the galamsey. So both parties are playing with the minds of the people, so I don't think we are going to have any solution from MPP and NDC when it comes to galamsey.
Right. I mean, both the NDC and the MPP, the public have accused them of playing, political chess with this issue of galamsey. But you launched your manifesto last weekend in Po, and then you highlighted some critical issues contained in the manifesto. You said you have some monthly youth unemployment allowances, and then monthly allowances for children, as well as building some state-of-the-art hospitals if you're given the mandate in the December polls. But, I mean, I didn't hear you mention anything concrete on dealing with this menace.
Actually, we have a plan because...
But it's not contained in the manifesto?
No, it's in the manifesto.
Right.
Yeah, what we are going to do is we're going to bring all the galamseyers together and then ask them to collectively put their resources together to form huge capital to go into a large-scale mining company. Because from Minerals Commission source, it's like there are about 3.5 million people who are engaging in this galamsey thing. So if we are able to bring them together and they are raising, let's say, 1,000 cedis minimum, maybe we'll be able to, on average, be able to raise about 3.5 billion Ghana cedis from them. And that can kickstart a large-scale mining company.
But do you think that is a feasible...
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It is. If you take Newmont, it's not one person owning Newmont. But here in Ghana, we believe that one-man business, that is why we are behind. So we have to come together, buy shares in the company, so that our money will be working for us, whilst maybe you are doing other things. So the goal, we have to mine them, but we have to mine them responsibly. So that's what I believe, that we have to go into large-scale mining so that we can regulate them and then make sure they do the right things.
Is that what you meant by, in the past you've been reported to have said that you will restructure galamsey?
Exactly. Yeah, that is
your ultimate solution?
Exactly. Because that is the only solution. Because you cannot get rid of them if you have to take them all away from the bush. What is the alternative that you have for them? If you don't have any alternative, they'll go back. They don't care. They'll go back. You see, so to get them out and let them behave responsibly, then you have to find another way. That way is that let them come together as one people, let them put their resources together, let them share the risk together, and then they share the returns together.
But we have small-scale miners.
Yeah, all those small-scale.
Right, and then those who are engaged in the illegal mining, are you going to merge all of them together?
Yeah, even the small-scale mining companies, we are going to merge them to form a large-scale mining. You see, we have over 3,000 small-scale mining companies. You know, this one is here, this one is there, this one is there. No. Let's bring them together. Let them put the resources together so that it can raise huge sums of money. And that number of excavators that you find at the bushes, you won't find those kind number there. And then they can do deep mining instead of this surface mining that they are doing.
Well, you have witnessed how both the NDC and the NPP have dealt with galamsey. I mean, NPP is currently in power, but the NDC as well in the past, how they dealt with it. What would be your assessment of how they've dealt with galamsey so far?
I think the Bahama started war when it was taking the Chinese and whatever people away in those times. That's 2014 thereabout. And maybe he couldn't manage to the end. And then when Akufo-Addo came and he said he's putting his presidency on the line, he was trying to do something until they found out that the NDC were going behind them, telling the people that, oh, when we come, we're going to release you, we're going to encourage you to do it. So definitely they can continue. So,
but is that reason enough?
Yes, it's reason enough.
At somebody who has
power is something that you don't joke with power. You see, you don't joke with power. You know, that's why somebody will tell you that if you are selling power and you can sell your mom to get the power, sell your mom, and then when you get the power, you go and release your mom. Because you see, power is not something that you joke with. Nobody in his rightful thinking will joke with power. Okay? That was a mistake Muhammad did, you know, when he said, oh, I'm going to cancel teacher training allowance, whether I lose the blah, 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 and then he lost it. You see, don't joke with power. Power, we don't joke.
Are Ghanaians not doomed then? Because judging by how you are saying I'm inclined to believe that you believe or you subscribe to that notion.
No.
Hence,
if we have a collective effort to fight the menace, we will do it. But whereby if somebody begins it and another person is behind, okay, trying to pull you back, it will be difficult for you to continue. Are you with me? Yeah, because my sister, it will be very difficult if you are trying to do the right thing and your opponent is encouraging them that, hey, give me power. When you give me power, I will let you do what you are doing. And you know, human beings, they want the easiest way. So okay, this guy's not good. Then let's change this guy and let's bring these guys. So definitely, if this person has, that's why if you listen to Dr. Yu, what he was saying, he said they suspect that NDC is behind all this democracy hub and all those kind blah 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 blah. So they are not taking it serious because they believe that is their thinking.
But isn't that mentality problematic?
No, you see, if you have innate, me, for instance, I will not accept it at this point in time. Having about a month or two to an election, and then you want me to go and do what? To annoy the people so that they vote against me? Who will do that? Nobody will do that. So that's why they are not putting premium. If they have started maybe the earlier part, like when the media got themselves involved. Yes, you see, everybody was in that in full support. But 2 months to an election, and then you are bringing this, you call it, nobody will support you. And nobody will do it. They will wait. After the election, if they have anything to do, then they do it.
I mean, looking at the how the NDC and the NPP, they've handled this so far. You are saying that both of them have essentially failed.
Yes, both of them.
If both of them have failed, and they are the two largest political parties in the country, what then will parties or smaller parties like yours do?
Yeah, we will do something different. That's why I propose to you that when I become president, we will make sure that we bring our people together and we tell them, hey, Newmont is taking our goods away. Goldfield, Anglo-Gold, Chirano, they are all taking our stuff away. So I wanted to do a responsible mining. I wanted to form a company like Newmont. But what will you do? Bring all your resources together. Then that will determine your shares in this new company. So that we give you concession to mine, large-scale mining. So they make huge sums of money, and then government will even benefit.
Unfortunately, we have to end the conversation here, but I would like to pick your thoughts finally on the anti-galamsey protest that happened last week. some have been arrested. What is your take on that? Former President Mahama feels there's been a lot of high-handedness in dealing with the protesters. What is your take?
I don't think so. I don't think police manhandle anybody. Police did a professional job. Just that this reasons of putting them in remand for 2 weeks, to me, I think it's too harsh. We have to release them, let them go. These young boys, they don't deserve that much. You know, they have to release them. But the thing is that they were not responsible in some of their actions. You know.
Okay, thank you for joining us. I'm sure we'll meet again in the lead up to the December polls. But that there is Kofi Akpalu, who is the leader or flag bearer of the Liberal Party of Ghana, join us in studio for a discussion on galamsey and how the other relatively smaller parties will deal with the menace if they're given the mandate in the December polls. But in some more election-related stories, the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says he presents a fresh aura to the presidency other than his main contender from the NDC. Addressing a rally in Kambunli and the Elembele constituency on day 2 of his 4-day tour in the Western region, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, while addressing the NDC presidential candidate as a second-hand president, emphasized that voting for him would present Ghanaians with fresh ideas other than the former president.
Dr. Bawumia addressed the crowd after worshipping with the Muslim community at Kangbili. He noted that his presidency would bring fresh ideas to the office other than the NDC's John Mahama. He said a vote for him brings a brand new tear-rubber president, while a vote for the former president gets a second-hand president.
New ideas, new vision, new solutions. Among the leaders here. Second-hand president. Any second-hand,
The NPP parliamentary candidate for Elembele, Kwesi Bonzo, urged constituents to vote for change. He notes that after 16 years under the NDC's Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boa as MP, the constituency has seen no development compared to his role as the MCA, where an obvious progressive era is being charted for Elembele.
16 years, the MP, minister, one deputy minority leader. He has nothing to show in this constituency. For the first time, we are going to elect an MP in the constituency. We need a parliamentary majority. We need a parliamentary majority to help President Bawumia to deliver on his mandate.
At the stakeholders' engagement at Atuabo Chief's Palace, President of the Eastern Nzima Traditional Council, Awolai Amiye Pangini, praised Dr. Bawumia for his dedication to digitalization. He also urged for the establishment of a STEM education in the Nzima enclave, recognizing the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in driving innovation and progress.
Western region cry why you see bibi at the STEM program. Ebi ni baby ewa. Enti yebesa se ebi papa ye man wa ba ye de nkan ma. At least ye wo federal hub ewo Jomoro. Ye wo school where say ASS by say 5 or 6 were around. Enti se ba ha
Now, thousands of supporters of the governing New Patriotic Party in the Greater Accra hit the streets of the Central Business District to canvass support for the party ahead of the 2024 elections. Speaking during the walk, National Youth Organizer of the NPP, Salam Mustafa, called out members of the Democracy Hub who destroyed properties of the NPP during the recent protests.
The walk, dubbed the Bold Solution Walk, saw thousands of party sympathizers, party bigwigs, including some parliamentary candidates in the Greater Accra region, national and regional executives, and government officials, among others, walked through the central business district to engage traders and passers-by. Some traders and watchers around the CMB market cheered the party supporters as they passed. Speaking to GHOne TV during the walk, National Youth Organizer of the MPP, Salam Mustafa, urged the youth to choose the new patriotic party and its parliamentary candidates in the 2024 elections. Salam Mustafa also called out protesters of the recently held Reoccupy Jubilee House and Stop Galamsey protest, urging them to be civil in their actions.
I've maintained a very consistent opinion. You don't need to destroy anybody's thing in the course of demonstration. So I want to urge that in the future, do your demonstration, whatever, in a very peaceful manner, decorous, and I think there will not be any problem. Let's choose the best leader for our country in this time, and that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He will take Ghana to the promised land.
Former Member of Parliament for Mensha North Constituency, Collins Owusu-Amankwah, during an interview with the news team, also dispelled assertions that the MPP running mate, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, is controversial and arrogant. The walk ended at the Osiakan Park in the Odododo constituency, where various parliamentary candidates in the Greater Accra region called on the supporters to work hard for the party to emerge victorious in the upcoming elections.
It's not true, and I can tell you that Dr. Napo is NDC's nightmare because he's exposing their evil deeds in the past, and that is what NDC is not comfortable.
Place you where people they say meba ako free SHS, iti metua mamu. You get to a place they say oh, and now mo abain panti yetimi enya kania iti metua mamu. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, inshallah, will become president of Ghana.
This seat now is a swing constituency. It doesn't belong to the NDC anymore. Bawumia, the president of the Republic of Ghana, come December 7th, and Alhaji Manaf as the new MP for the Dodo constituency.
Let's go to the camp of the NDC as flag bearer of the party. GHOne Mahama has accused government of misappropriating $150 million of the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development, that is the GHARD project, which is meant to improve flood risk and solid waste management in the Odo River Basin. Now, the NDC presidential candidates during a community engagement at Odoko as part of the phase 3 of his campaign tour of the Greater Accra region emphasized that the government has received enough funding to deal with perennial flooding, but failed to utilize the money for the intended purpose.
This one by mo. Ensio to a baby na ensio no enyiri. I just said there were no floods. Also the ensio talk to ebia na Accra na everywhere is flooded. Ezu meanwhile enso eno wenye sika for flood control eche aban bia ewo yabakosemu. Ministry of Sanitation, World Bank emma $43 million for the silting Odo drain and the secondary drains. Science can no copy and propobin passing. Ezu. And now Minimo can say they approve another $150 million for Greater Accra Resilience Development Project. Nina Yabechedi, Omo Fanyashi. Obesha no more sign say, oh, ya yesi. World Bank so embeje say ejuma no ya. NDC bar, yebe tutu gota ningi na we are going to desilt all the major drains so that when it rains, the water will get a way to pass and not spoil people's properties. Ezu.
Still on the NDC, GHOne Mahama has cautioned the current government against signing any new gas contracts. This follows an earlier concern raised by the minority in Parliament over the resurgence of load shedding, popularly known as Dumso, blaming it on dubious contracts signed by the government through Ghana Gas Company. Speaking during a community engagement at Tunga in the Ablekuma West constituency as part of phase 3 of his Greater Accra regional campaign tour, GHOne Mahama described the pending Phoenix Park gas contract as a last-minute deal and questioned why the government is trying to sign a gas contract now with barely 2 months to the December 7 election.
You see, when I say that we're going to hold this government accountable, I mean it. Because I know that in the dying stages of this government, they are busy signing contracts that are going to bind this nation for many years to come. This week, our spokesperson on energy, John Jinapo, gave a caution that there's a contract they want to sign with Ghana Gas for the second gas train. For 8 years, this government has not invested in extra gas. So why is there a hurry to sign the contract for the second gas train? Just because they want to commit it, take their 10%, and if it takes even 5 years for the gas to come, they don't care. We are warning everybody who is involved in this contract. If there's financial loss to the state, they would be held responsible for that. And for a contract valued at $800 million, I believe that it must be subjected to parliamentary approval. Because they want to avoid parliament, they have set up a wishy-washy Ghanaian company as the front so that they don't have to go to parliament because it's an international company. We are watching. If there's financial loss to the state, people are going to be held responsible. A word to the wise is enough.
You're still watching News Tonight live on GHOne TV with me, Nadima Umar Uthman. That does it for your election hub. Let's now do business. In business tonight, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission of Ghana, that is PURC, has announced the quarterly review of existing tariffs. The new tariffs are effective October 1, 2024. Now, this review undertaken within the PURC quarterly tariff review framework is to account for changes in key uncontrollable factors, specifically the US dollar Ghana cedi exchange rate, domestic inflation rate, cost of natural gas and electricity generation mix, among others. According to the Commission, this is why there will be a 3.02% increment in electricity tariffs and a 1.86% increment in water tariffs for the third quarter of 2024 for all categories of customers. Now, the Commission's decision is based on changes in some key parameters such as inflation rates, exchange rates, and the weighted average cost of gas over the projected third quarter. The Commission also considered several other underlying factors, including the current economic conditions and general living standards of Ghanaians and the competitiveness and sustainability of industries. But it says it is necessary to review the tariffs in order to keep the lights on and water flowing. Hundreds of residents in Odumase and Obuasi East District have benefited from free eye care services. The initiative, fully funded by mining support services giant Quantum LC Company Limited, comes at a time optical services remain largely based in cities with little attention for rural communities. The outreach was held alongside Anglo Gold Ashanti's quarterly mini clinics held to give back to the Obuasi community.
Community members who visited the Lane Clay School Park at Odumase took advantage of general OPD services, mass deworming, eye care, and dental services. Others accessed free laboratory services to check their blood pressure, blood glucose, cholesterol, BMI, HIV, malaria, among others. Head of Corporate Social Responsibility with Quantum LC, Caleb Ayiku, explained that the gesture formed part of the company's strong corporate responsiveness to social needs.
What we are doing here is a further extension of the third pillar, which is the local social interventions. We call this one the IRIS Titus Global Eye Medical Outreach. And it is dear to us because our CEO and founder lost his mother 2 years ago, 2022. Before she passed away, she went completely blind. Now, we discovered quite late that she had a problem with her eye that wasn't detected early enough.
Community Relations and Stakeholder Engagement Superintendent of Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi Mines, Edmond Ojoaje, disclosed that aside building health facilities and refurbishing others with state-of-the-art medical equipment, the AGA mini clinic and health outreaches have catered for the health needs of some 33,000 beneficiaries.
One of the key areas that we are looking at amongst others is the health. And in health, we are looking at improving the health care of the people within our host communities. Over the years, this is the 15th mini clinic that we are embarking on. And we've been able to treat about 30,000 people as a result of the mini clinic that we've had or we've held over the period that I'm speaking about. One thing that encourages us is that we believe that the health of the people is the wealth of the people.
Municipal Chief Executive of Obuasi East, Faustina Emisam, underscored the need for the private sector to embark on such social impact projects to build a cordial relationship with host communities.
Like this, strengthen the relationship between the mine and then the host community. This is not the first time. I can count, let's say about 4 of them. I remember we had one at Ahansu Nyaudia, another one at Buete, and another one at Diowosho. And this is the 4th time in the district. I'm talking about Obuasi East alone. So we are happy that we are witnessing this today, and we know that as time goes on, it will continue to strengthen the relationship we have with the mine.
Obuasi East District Health Director, Dr. Eyonam Kumewukumi, bemoaned the poor health-seeking behavior of the district. She challenged the residents to take advantage of free medical outreaches for early detection of diseases.
In Obuasi and Obuasi East, we have this, we cultivated this habit of bringing healthcare to your doorstep. So AGA helps us, other companies to help us. So we are always in the community, checking their blood sugar and pressure and referring them. But if these activities are not in place, people do not tend to go to the hospitals to check their pressure and their sugar and any other thing. They wait until they have a stroke or they have a heart condition. It gets bad before they come to the hospital. That's what we are working on. We hope that everyone will take health seriously and seek health at least once a year or every 6 months.
Some community members who spoke to GHOne TV commended Quantum LC, Anglo Gold Ashanti, and its partners for offering them the opportunity to receive medical care at no cost.
And then my pressure, my baby, my lab. Into the Makachu for so my idea, Panyamisho, or my mosquito net so. And Pennyfue dear Nimunea, the Omasepa, the Omaya Mano, and so any Oman Giesca. Omo dey free.
Them penfo dey bedo mase, wo so munya sa akwa pepa, say won so adwe e se bi ekru nkitu amu fo. Mprepi da be ekru kase mu. Atwe dey nyame adom. Omo dey ban kru nkitu amu, say dey be ya obi nti be da penfo mu share say adwuma de no ase. Ya da wo ma obi a oba na ho de ni nyansa bia no. Ya se da pa man. So ma ya de.
The beneficiaries walked away with medications and free insecticide-treated bed nets.
And that's how we wrap up this edition of News Tonight live on GHOne TV. I am Nadima Umar Uthman. Many thanks for doing the watching, but you can get more news on starfm.com.gh. Good evening.